Tequila sunset. Can't really remember seeing any women after losing my keys.
It's a touchy topic. He hasn't got laid in ages.
The legend! He's back. And firstly... Oh. You see, friend, man makes his own luck. And I made mine real good. Got my hands on 3 bottles of liquor exquise. Sold 2 to the fellows around here and immediately invested the profit. Bought cigarettes, bought beer, even bought a bit of speed. And look at me now. I've got everyone on my hook.
Seriously? Are you? Fine.
And the lieutenant is annoyed.
Go. Nice and easy.
There's a cylinder.
Who's there?
Is that the police?
Don't worry, Garrett. To what do I owe the pleasure? Of course. Thank you for passing along the message. That damn water lock is broken, but we can't go all the way around the 881. Oh, good.
Did he say we can go back?
Yes, Gary! We can go...
This is a man possessed, always on the brink of some breakthrough. He won't leave if there's a sliver of hope.
Sir.
I just have to do one more round. See if the phasmid has taken the bait.
For all his passion, this man is diligent and patient. You could learn things from him.
I'm afraid not, officer. I've been busy digging around in the reeds for days, looking for signs.
The lieutenant takes a short note in his notebook. Then...
Well, first of all, it's damn difficult to find, which is what... Good question. Being a phasmid of the order Phantasmodea, a ghost insect, and I suspect it may have also developed other specialised techniques to protect itself from... It's my hypothesis that it has evolved certain electrochemical defences that allow it to interfere with animal perception. But I cannot describe how these defences work, much less how to...
Yes, it makes perfect sense. You're beginning to suspect there's something paranatural about this phasmid.
Typical rookie assumption. Even simply catching a glimpse
Would be glory itself.
I'm expecting it to be quite giant. One known...
Seems puny, to be honest.
Very little, Not yet. That's what makes it a cryptid.
Just out of curiosity, if there's
I know it's real. By which I mean, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian phasmid...
What would it be like to grasp and hold onto something you think is next to you, or just behind you, like a trace of vapor you exhaled one spring morning as a child? This is what he's searching for.
There was a credible sighting here recently. A pair of teenagers described a... It's the first credible sighting in... I have to resist the thought. Such an extraordinary creature is doubtlessly highly... Yes. The females don't need males to reproduce. Makes it easier for a species to survive in adverse conditions. Yes, the Insulindian phasmid is a very... And I'm eager to return to her. My wife understands that. Just
Come on, Morel. We've been soaking out.
and leave the traps. Absolutely.
Come on. She wants us back. I'm soaked up to my nuts over.
I'm doing this for science. Of course it's important to her. She's seen it. A verified... Yes, that's...
Needless to say, you must ask.
Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of the Insulindian phasmid together. I can't... No.
He's dead set on this.
I didn't expect you to take such an interest in our work here, officer.
Why not? At least it will give us the excuse to look into...
That it will. There are 4 in total. One is to the south, on this little peninsula, by the boathouses there. It's very neat. Another we set in Land's End, to the northeast. It's behind us. The third is set near the canal, where you crossed. You should check at least one of those before. Bring it to me at once. Just make sure the trap is closed tight. That's highly unlikely, officer. But in the event you do, I'll spray you with a... It's made of musk and research chemicals. The pheromone should attract the insect. Wise choice.
This is the smell of dying reeds.
I hope you're not buying this. He dispenses it without letting you touch the canister, so it would be precious like holy water.
It is precious. A single dose cost me 50 real to develop. Not that I expect you to understand.
Right, which means you two can pack it.
Whatever he thinks about this detour, it's clear that
Finally.
Thank you for your help. Gary and I will start breaking down.
that patch of reeds over there, it's a great place to hide something. Kind of out of the way, being so close to the water. Nothing. Just a hunch. The hunch passes, leaving you there, by the...
Hello, Yellow Man.
The lieutenant raises his eyebrows slightly. Yellow Man. That sounds awfully...
I'm just waiting for my friend Morel to finish up with his... I like nature, just not this bloody coast. It's mostly drunks and degenerates that come here. Dark times will do that to good men.
Serious question time. This man is no innocent. No one is.
Not many Sealites here, or anywhere, other than Sail. I meant no offense, truly. No problem at all. My mug? Why would you think that? Really? I hear it all the time. All in jest, of course. Okay, I admit it. I threw... You're not going to find me, are you? Okay, I deserve that. And I don't know what got into me. Stuffing my garbage in another man's property, it's...
What did you do?
Nothing!
Here we go. Start pumping that sweet info.
I know a guy who works with the trash collection services, CS Municipal. He gave me a master key so I can use the Whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. Garbage disposal is expensive as hell. The damn Hemians run it like a... I'm sorry, okay? I thought I could cut cop.
Disgraced. No need for the histrionic, sir. It was...
He studies his reaction. Gary doesn't answer.
Officer, please. Let me explain. I was only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where he was hanged, and I saw him stripped naked. Then I came out to clean up the rags because no one else would. I put them into... Okay. I was coming to throw the mug away, and, well...
Right. It was just civic duty.
Exactly.
As he shifts uncomfortably, a series of clicks, like the clinking of glass beads against one another as they roll across a hardwood floor. You've heard this sound before, but...
Armor? No. I mean, yes. Of course. I know he would... What sound? I haven't the slightest. There's lots...
Every day, the wind shifts the reeds and whatever was left in them.
What sound? Really? There's lots of weird stuff out...
Every day, the wind shifts the reeds and what...
I hope I could help your investigation. In my small way. Always a I mean, officers.
Is he? He's looking comfortable.
Always a I mean, officers.
Is he?
Always a pleasure. I mean, officers.
Is he? He's looking comfortable in...
Always a pleasure. I mean, officers.
Is he?
Always a I mean, officers.
There's a trap in the behind you, a ruin. When this district was booming, the locusts are crawling around in the trap, confused but uneaten.
Big surprise. Anyway, one down. 3... No, you weren't.
scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall, reaching from one corner to the other. A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the crack. A row of ghostly shades stand facing the wall. There are many of them, a dozen at least, their heads lowered and eyes blindfolded. It's quiet. No sound. 10 meters away, other shades are lined up in an orderly manner, automatic rifles primed. A gust of wind blows by. The coats of the firing squad flap slowly and droplets of rain fall on the wooden planks. The surrounding sand dune. A long time has passed since the abundance of bullet holes leads to two options. Either an inordinate amount of executions were performed here, or they did not use a conscience round, where only one soldier has the loaded rifle. Looks like this was a mass execution with everyone fully armed.
I don't know. I don't know who died here, lined up beside that horrible wall. It could have been any of the... Perhaps the ones executed here were the loyalist conservatives, killed by the communists at the start of the Civil War. Or it could have been the communists, put to death. Another likely scenario.
Or maybe...
Yeah, it's very unlikely the coalition forces were the ones who died here. To be honest, if a coalition member was anyone in this situation, it was the commandant, the superior giving the orders.
A host of men, probably in everyday clothes. They stand, ordinary people, familiar comrades, the forsaken. 7 men in combat uniforms, men of duty, murderers, twisted by orders. The commandant, a cold behind this building, the other one, once filled with engineers and designers. Kingdom of Conscience. The Kingdom of Conscience will be exactly as it is now. Moralists don't really have beliefs. Sometimes they stumble on one, like on a child's toy left on the carpet. The toy must be put away immediately, and the child reprimanded. Centrism isn't change, not even incremental change. It is control over yourself. There's no way the perp isn't here, officer. Look how scarred the boards are.
The suspect? God, I hope not. I can't see a way in, though many have tried.
Not this time. The opposition is insurmountable, but I like the spirits. And dangerous. Dangerous too. As you fold your fingers into a fist, your movements cause tiny little clicks, like dice rolling somewhere far away. As the plates the hardened vitreous enamel, at once sleek and light, adds a glow to your cheeks and a spring to your step. Just imagine what a full suit of this stuff could do for you. 2. Are you sure you're correct there? There was a helmet too. It may be a while before you have all the pieces. In the meantime, you should analyze them. Remember, this is a highly specialized kinetic redistributor meant to stop bullets. Wear it for the day you have to fight someone covered in the same material. An old door worn by elements guards the depot. A familiar apparatus lies and the reed shakes. The wind picks up. This trap is also full of panicked.
Another empty trap. Always up for a good job. Otherwise, would I still be on this case with you?
Metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. There's a bitter life is garbage. You dial the number again in the middle of calling. Put it down before it's too late, please. The headset land. Now walk away. Forget about this. Walk away and do police work. Bury this in yourself and this is the trap, Morel. Nothing but
Empty as all of them. One more of these and we're done. Of course. Noted.
Hi, officer. Anything I can help you with?
You've graduated to Lawbringer now?
Men with authority have their quirks. Comes with never being second-guessed about anything. So what brings you here, Lawbringer? The name is Lillian. People call me Netpicker. I think I have time for questions. What are the other ones?
Ask her about the cool sword. Helps to break the ice.
Unfortunately, the factory sold this one with a 3-year warranty instead of story. It's to intimidate folks, mostly. It's a regular mass-produced sword, like a shovel or an axe. Nothing fancy. Just, from time to time, people need a lesson in respect. That's just the way it is. Back in the day, I caught the eyes of many men. And believe me, men need a lesson in manners. No, I'm afraid not. Tempting to confiscate the blade I used to keep these animals in. Some went to patch their wounds, their lesson learned. Gone.
It absolutely does not. We are not going to look for him.
No. There's nothing to find. He's dead. Lost to the waves. He didn't respect the sea. Went out there, drunk like a skunk, and sure enough, one day the boat was found floating empty. The bloated corpse turned up 2 weeks later. Now, before you tell me how sorry you are for my loss, know that it was 4 years ago, and
She really liked those muscles, though. It's in the way she pronounces sinewy.
us working folk don't have the luxury to be bedsick with melancholy. I buried him. Life didn't really change that much for me and the kids.
This is neither a touchy nor a very interesting. She looks like she's ready to go on a date with another, better.
Do it! Hit on the widow! It's the right thing to do!
Where to begin? Waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards.
Oh, yes.
Waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards. Simmer down. Simmer down, bastards. Let's see. Who are you looking for? Okay. When did this person stay here? Oh. I've been out on this... Yes, that's the optimal time. Got to make the most of the calm. I've been sleeping like a corpse. Sorry I couldn't help you out. Maybe I can help... Well, how can I assist you then, officer? I'll just keep the Corda Lacey in the channel, if that's okay. It's too shallow near the pier. Aye, ma'am. And it's a jetty, by the way. Of course. Jetty. Hello, detectives. It's good to see you here.
What brings you here?
Nothing, really. I've had my eye on this jetty for weeks now, so I decided to investigate it personally. This... How do I like it?
Water drips down eaves of Eternite. The jetty below her feet creaks to the tune. The smell of salt and dog shit in the background.
It's pornographically poor. The street has no name. All the men are dead or missing. And is that the carcass of a motor carriage over there? I'm surprised that woman hasn't put me to the sword yet. Maybe she will. You should ask your questions while you can.
Dark eyes survey the coast leading up to Martinez. Dull grey metal rests in her scabbard. A sword. The wind is too loud for her to hear.
Fortunately for you, madame, the RCM is on the scene.
Real men, real politics, real thoughts in your head.
She could easily just...
You detect a note of longing in her voice. Above you, there forms a quilt of alto-cumulus clouds, twisting into each other. The wind tugs and stretches them over the bay. Their cloud shadows slide over the ruins of Revachol West. Wherever they pass, the temperature drops slightly, but perceptibly. It's early spring, and the rains are coming. An officer enters a low hut of stone and wood. Inside, weapons are piled against the walls. Rifles with splintering stocks, and swords. Tens, if not hundreds. They're antiques, says Lieutenant John, the archetype McCoy, to his partner. They're digging them up from the catacombs now, fixing them. Old caches from the Revolution. The children carry them up. Come May, the streets will be flooded. Outside, the wind rattles the loose hatches, flooded with cheap weapons in angry hands.
Have I told you how they discovered this place? No, they're in Sealindian, Isla. Well, your condition has left you no worse off than most of these people. The literacy rate is around 45% west of the river. 50 years of occupation have left these people in an oblivion of poverty. I knew you would sympathize. Most Revacholians will never know what this place means. Our home. This island of matter. Or why they were ferried over in the first place. Remind me to tell you one day. For now, how can I assist you in this new location?
Do we?
I hear you have singled out a suspect and are in pursuit.
This story she will tell only before she leaves Martinez, at the very end of her stay.
Maybe there is something else I can assist you with. Yes, my eyes on the harbor have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered? It doesn't really matter, and I do apologize for the surveillance. Wild Pines can't afford to be blind at a time like this. In any case, it's a relief to know someone has looked into it. If I may ask, will there be an official investigation? I assume you discovered there...
She's trying to conceal her excitement, but the slight glimmer in her green eyes tells you otherwise. The lieutenant is about to interject. Cut him off. This decision should be yours.
If there is an investigation, it will be part of an ongoing operation, subject to confidentiality. I'm sure you understand.
Of course, detectives. In any case, you've held up your end of our arrangement. I trust you with the rest. Now it's my turn. I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid we may have a bloodbath on our hands.
The words bloodbath sound cold in her mouth. They taste of iron and strawberries.
Yes. I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war, with possible consequences for all of Rivershoal West.
Since you are sharing, ma'am, this is also the RCM's worst-case scenario.
Then we're on the same page, as grim as it may be. I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it my security detail. They were dispatched after I relayed the Union.
Every worker...
A member of the board. I tried to convince my employer it was simply a piece of rhetoric, or a joke. They did not appreciate the humor. Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the Union into surrendering.
Who are they?
Crenell, an Oranese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me. To be frank, our relationship is deteriorating. They wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder, and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment.
So, what happened?
The story is, one of them, the Colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was drunk and separated from his unit. This allowed some of the more militant Union members to subdue him. He was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched last Sunday night. Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbor. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Crenell contractors carry out their orders, for now. It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. Once this
What is the nature of this so-called investigation?
whether to execute one, some.
It'll be all of them. The decision is already made.
It is very far from disco. My only hope is that you provide a single, concrete suspect before the... If you don't pin this on someone good, and do it fast, they will...
They would have to project.
The Debardeurs have over 2,000 men. It will be 1,000.
Have you ever seen a Hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? These men work in tandem using semi- and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable. As I said, a bloodbath. Many bleak scenarios have already come true, Lieutenant W. Frater Dubois. All we can do is keep the rest from going the same way. One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse this situation. Not much.
Down a deep,
They boast a long list of clients. Saint-Baptiste, Welchman Lorraine.
Meaning they're used to upper...
Yes. All the good conflict corridors. Sadly, no. If you still have access to the ICP's database...
Do you know a lot about the inner workings of the RC?
In my line of work, it pays to do your research. I was prepared to deal with the RCM. I did not think I'd be dealing... I have. And they... Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. The remaining contractors. That the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman.
This does not come as news to us, but still. To your knowledge, where did this assault take?
Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, a group of... That's a good question, officer. I don't have the slight... If you mean did I see him alive? Yes.
you don't know how you know. It's not written on her face, nor in her voice, but she had sympathy.
Liked is a bit strong. He was the most charismatic among them. He handled Lely, his service name, a nom de guerre, most likely. He was 40 or 50. It's hard to say which. He had a combat injury on his lower jaw.
This matches the dental reconstruction we saw on the body. And Glacier also mentioned it, I believe. What else?
He was, Occidental. In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it. Through the injury. That's all I know, I guess. I only met him once. They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do. To put it bluntly, they think...
Vigilantes. You're a professional officer of the only...
Somehow, I doubt that lecturing them on the legitimate use of force will persuade them to stand down. You're likely to run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't... That's wise. I am sorry to have been... You're back. Good. What can I help you with? Of course. Anything to help. They've gone... They don't have...
Vigilantes.
Somehow, I doubt... You're likely to run into them eventually.
One is obviously the scout leader at the harbor gates. The other has a vantage point in a building south of the roundabout.
That may be so. I still hope...
For all your talk of averting this catastrophe, the situation at the gate is a border.
Of course it bothers me, Lieutenant. But my hands are tied.
Your concern may be appearances. Ours.
That would afford a good vantage point. In any case, it's...
Where is your radio for contacting them?
Heavens no. I'm not an undercover agent. There's a short wave at the ship's wheel. I hope I can answer it until the executions start. Truthfully...
They don't report their progress.
Not on this matter. I'm afraid they...
5 days, not more. Maybe sooner.
It's a matter of days, not weeks. I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. Of course.
For about half...
It was taken with a Trigat not long ago. This is...
Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion. She has no excess of emotions for this cadaver.
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the web of... I can't. But that's how you read... Close. Port cities. This is an Oronese map of the waterways. A sailor's tattoo. The sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad. This is a sort...
Where is he now?
That is precisely what the sailors feared when they drew these maps. A fear of drowning within one's own corps. Quite a few.
What next?
Then he made his way to the Pretto Grande through Revachol. Those are the two constants.
You said you can't read it.
I can't. This man was no sailor. And these are no ports.
Somewhere in an office lit by a single green desk lamp, Captain Ptolemaeus Price, 58, bald and bespectacled, is in Martinez looking into Krenel. He writes in one. Then the man puts down his pen and rubs his temples with both hands. Outside, there is a siren.
That makes sense to me. We have no more use for a map of the waterways, just like we don't his platoon members. The other...
It could go this or the other way. Challenge accepted. I say we do it.
Do what you have to do, Detective Dubois. I don't think deciphering that tattoo should come before public security, but if you
We will be careful, ma'am.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
She's not even asking you anything. It's so easy to just say.
Sounds like he has you running errands, Detective. A well-established dominance ritual. Here? Oh no. What does that...
It's clear the village has already grown dear to her.
No, don't tell me. I don't want to know what he has. A giant statue of him. Or better yet, his twin brother. A youth center with Edgar Clare's stat. Go ahead. Help him. Make it so. Yes. I'm sad. Full of ghosts and ancient memory. A referral, you mean? I take it this was for someone in the RCM. Don't answer that. Oh my.
The lieutenant does not say anything, but you hear the nylon of his jacket rustle as he looks.
Of course. The RCM has the right to inspect any premises.
Frankly, what was done was not pretty at all, but neither was it illegal. And
This seems...
I advise you to be very selective with what information you choose to share. This may have consequences beyond our line of sight.
How benevolent. Hopefully,
While we appreciate your assistance, ma'am,
that is only fair. Oh my. It looks like you may untie this knot yet.
There's something in you that really likes the way she's looking at you just now.
Naturally, Detective. There are lighter topics to gossip about. Of course, Detective.
It takes you a moment. The trap feels light and silent. No locus. Your voice echoes on the...
well, the bait worked on something. This doesn't mean it was a...
The netting is a little untidy, messier than the others. Like someone or something picked up the trap and shook it before dropping it back down on the ground.
We did, sort of, promise to tell.
A cold gust of air dries your sweaty face, and the reeds bend forlornly. The constant
Everything's still cool here, officer.
Hi, gendarme. Another rendezvous. I am. So are you. What brings you here? Oh, a committee. And if I may ask, gendarme, what is this committee about? God, of course it is. My friend is always trying to convince me I need as though I don't have enough going. In any case, I would love to help. But the thing is, I don't know where he is. We don't talk about every. He might have mentioned something about making it. Not a clue. I'm not a. I guess you will. You did? And how did you like him? I told you he can be very useful. I guess that's the charm of friends, I told you. Sunday friends. Friends who like. That he won't be there when times get tough, I guess. It is. On Sundays. He has keys. And he likes the view. To the sea, I mean. Hmm? What about me, gendarme? Oh yes, let's see. Nothing. That I didn't see anything. Why shouldn't he? What friend? No, I don't think it came up. Sure. Bye-bye, gendarme.
Boy, am I ever so grateful to you, officer. But I'm not the only one who wants to...
Oh, sweetie, I don't even know how to thank you for finding my husband and helping him out. I hope we haven't been too much trouble for you. Here, I want to give you a small token of my gratitude.
The little silvery knob holding the tie together feels warm in your hand.
Oh, you don't want it.
Ramblings. Nonsense.
Darling,
You were a child, my dear.
Reflexively, the lieutenant.
well, it was summer. I was building a race. I looked up.
She had no.
I didn't know this. I tried.
Where did you go?
I ran back home to my grandmother and asked her. For years,
We were on it.
So that's how.
it did, yes.
The way it moved. If it weren't for Lena, I might have given up hope years ago. It's no exaggeration to say.
I thought it was a wonderful story, man.
But I don't believe it. A child left unattended on a warm day. Children make up stories and then end up believing them.
You're welcome.
And she could get up and walk, right?
I couldn't.
He tries to play it cool.
Good. Okay. Completely empty?
No locusts?
That's not ideal.
It just means the Insulindian phasmid is even more clever.
Of course, more clever.
You're dealing with a subject near and dear to their hearts. It might behove you.
Yes. The fantastic.
Another trip to the Reeds.
Of course. Actually, no. Excuse me for getting emotional. This is a...
Heartfelt gratitude.
Thank you, it's an honor. We should probably read.
Helping cryptozoologists isn't really a priority for our organization.
Hello. Lena and I...
Consider the way the empty trap was disturbed, as though shaken.
Kids. What would a child...
Oh, my dear Morel. You've been an old man for too long. Kids love to torment insects almost as much.
Delinquents, my favorite.
Oh, you've been such a dear to us.
Well, I see you've got all the help you need. I'll see...
This is a slippery one. He may respect the law, but mostly wants to pass under the radar. You won't get a chance to talk after you.
Really, Gary?
Lena, I'm sorry, but you're not getting... Morel,
No need to apologize.
The first man to break formation is always a blow to leadership.
No. Well, he's been a little unenthusiastic.
He doesn't want to say it, but this is unusual.
always a pleasure. I mean, officers.
That shirt looks very uncomfortable on him. Look at the buttons, barely keeping that thing. Yes, like a piece of ceramic.
I knew you'd figure it out, officer. I was ashamed of what I did.
This shirt.
Gary,
I took the...
God damn it.
I know.
shame on you. Gary didn't mean to interfere with your...
He's a loyal friend. He sighs again, hangs his head, and unbuttons his shirt fully. A cuirass, but so light to hold, like a...
I always thought it was the Union. Some Union hardasses. Because I was weak. I should have told you the moment
He's a scaredy cat.
everyone was picking those pieces off him and I was watching them do. So I went there to take out the trash and started cleaning up. Only the cuirass was left.
It's okay. It was a loose end, and you are tying it.
I'm so fucking sorry I called you Yellow Man. CLI officers commanded the...
It's difficult to say what the lieutenant...
Yes, absolutely. I will... I told you everything. I...
The Copper NATO is back. What do you want? Like hell you have. There is no...
We'll do that. In the meantime, did you know that there's... We know Ruby was the driver. We know that's your affiliation with her. Detective, you want to deliver the coup de grâce? Thank you. You're right, Titus. There is no local drug trade.
That's a mighty interesting theory.
Yeah, man. Theoretically, that's what you would do.
You would need good, trustworthy people to take their place, of course. Hardy men to run such a monopoly. For the good of the community, of course. Thank you. Theoretically, of course.
He seems genuinely surprised.
I don't know. I guess theoretical things don't make me emotional. Now, I was sorta gonna get my brewski on. You sure do love long walks through Theory Town, don't
He doesn't let it show, but must be a little impressed. You've put a lot of things together, fast.
you? Yeah. Anything else you want, Cobb?
This orange machine is buzz. This orange machine is buzz. You slip your No. This is going... If you want to try again.
Equip the pry bar by...
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a dye? I'm sorry. I'm a bit overloaded just now, so I can only produce one dye per customer. Oh, it's you again. How did I become? Some of my friends were. I've grown crap.
The bear's eyes are still glowing. A few bricks have fallen. The bullet is still...
A jacketed bullet.
We were right.
Even the RC.
Something tells you that won't be anytime soon. You can't remember what happened. The bullet is...
A jacketed.
We were right.
Even the RC.
Something tells you that won't be anytime soon. This'll have to be one of those epic tasks that's open for a rifle. Revolutionary period. The 4.46 caliber was widely used with the Belma Grey. Incidentally, you have just such a rifle with you. The dusty old thing you found hidden in the basement below the commercial area. No, but Zeliga, a major fire. Antiques enthusiasts, guerrilla fighters in distant countries, a few lucky jamrock bangers. You're looking for the same thing.
What are you thinking? Bullet? Okay. And? An antique. That makes sense. There can't be many breech-loading rifles floating around in Martinez. I have to hand it to the monarchs. It's quite admirable that they took the advice of criminologists last century. Some new RCM recruits get impatient with their muzzleloaders once they've trained with military-grade weapons. Imagine if everyone, cops, citizens, had access to firearms that could shoot multiple... But back to the investigation. Let's find out. Next step, finding the gun itself.
Vigilance officer? What can this old carabiner? Vigilance officer? What can this old cat...
Unfortunately,
It is such a pleasure to see.
Vigilance officer? What can this old carabiner... Ah, yes!
Oh,
cocaine.
A superpower! Feared and respected. A testament to what this country can decisively. Without fear of offending the sensibility, a nation is only as strong as its leader.
don't get started on...
The Carabiner. No one and nothing.
Oh, old Philip was a big fan of the purple nose candy. The nobility.
You can't, that's why.
I'm satisfied with it.
Of course. Clarity of vision.
Philippe Zitter was even brought into this world with the help of cocaine.
Higher realms. Of course, it all makes sense.
It's really not.
Yes, indeed.
Right. There's nothing for you to understand here. It is not her death you are investigating. Absolutely not. Revachol Fair of 91. This was the happiest day of my life. I was 20. I won her back.
You were like
Dark.
those days.
The old soldier says nothing. But when his glance quickly runs over Gaston's face, there's an odd look.
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything. The Coldima Madakwa. Sorry, I would never have guessed that you were that interested in ultrasonic sounds. Or birds, for that matter. That's fair. This was before, you know, lost touch with them after all of that. Cool or not, we thought we did. Unfortunately, I don't have any recordings from my old life.
Do we really have time for this?
This recording comes from down the coast. Keep in mind, I have to slow this one down enough to make sounds well over 200.
As the hum grows louder, modulate. That's an illusion. You're breathing. There's a growing sense of dread. The sound is coming from inside you. He nods to you, reassuringly, just as more...
Gulls and skewers.
That's it. The signal, a low range of sounds, is easier to handle.
You know, now that I've listened to it on these new speakers, it's not the Coldima Madakwa.
Wow, a very large red t-shirt. Oh yeah, the print depicts a muscled man smells like worn cotton. Worn cotton with a side of flea mark.
Sniffing is okay, but please don't try anything on. Can't have...
You're not imagining it. Photon emissions? What is he talking about?
Too rare.
That's dirt cheap.
But why? I sympathize, I do. But this is a for-profit enterprise.
It's the man from hell.
Walking away from...
Their matter-of-fact tone belies... Lie, sire, for no reason.
That's very sad, man. The man from Yelmdale is the hero of a series of popular books in fact, most people don't...
Helmdall isn't.
Neither is the man a real man, of course. But, I mean...
Okay.
You sound bizarre.
Very... Stop talking about this nerd stuff. It will make you weedy. think so? Suddenly, this feels like a really, really bad idea.
Actually, I think we should maybe even get going now.
Mr. Dubois, now, what can Everard Clare do? No, you didn't. I know the mailman, Harry, just like I know you'll get it done. Once...
It's not gonna be easy this time.
It depends. I don't think what we just got from...
But, he thinks, it's...
As I said, it weighs on me heavily. But once we get real... Yes, the little colder. By all means, Harry. What's on your mind? Ah, yes, your side investigation.
Not even a speck of anger in his voice.
Yes. What's that, Harry? You're getting a little pale. Is it the words...
Gentlemen, what can I do for you?